about me.
Ayo, ayo. On two, mic check.
What's good, Price Action Nation? I'm back with another video, and I know you saw the thumbnail. And yes, today I'll be teaching you how to spot the right support and resistance level. So let's get into it. And resistance will basically look like in the chart. So this is just the basic. Price will approach your support level, and that's when price will reverse towards the upside. And then it will approach your resistance level, and that's when price will, once it touches your resistance level or zone, price will then go down to your support level. And then obviously when price gets to your support level, it will reverse and then approach your resistance level. So this will just happen in this manner. So yeah, and so on and so forth. This is how price actually plays around support levels or support zones and support and resistance zones. So this is just a basic demonstration of what we're talking about when we say support or when we say resistance. Resistance basically acts as a ceiling. Let's say you're in your room, the resistance level would be your ceiling, and then the support level will obviously be your floor, right? So that's how you can demonstrate support and resistance. But then support and resistance isn't really this basic, right? Support can turn into resistance, and resistance can also turn into a support zone, right? So let me just show you guys what I actually mean by this. I'm gonna quickly remove all of this because I think we've gone through that and it's actually clear for everyone. So now let's talk about support turning into resistance. The price is moving like this. Every time price gets here, it reverses, right? So what do? You draw your support level. So now you anticipate that price will go up and then come down, but then price decides to break this support level of yours, right? Price actually decides to break this support level of yours. Now what's going to happen here is that your support level is actually going to turn into resistance. So the next time price comes there, it will actually reverse towards the downside, just like that. Just like that. It will now turn into resistance. But if it happens that price does break this again, maybe you could get your nice retest. Now price is actually behaving as a support level again. So every time a zone is broken or a level is broken, it changes from resistance to support or from support to resistance. Right, so that's how it actually happens. I think that demonstration was actually pretty clear. Right, so resistance levels will turn into support levels, and support levels will also turn into resistance levels. So I actually have clear demonstrations of these on the chart. But at the end, I'm also going to show you guys a nice trick that I did actually show on my previous video about how to spot the right kinds of support and resistance levels. So let's actually go to charts, which is where I have my clear demonstration. So in terms of support and resistance levels, right, let's look at this right here. Let's look at this. So as you guys can see that price kept on reversing on that zone, and price did keep on reversing on this zone. Now this zone is what we would call our support zone. And then see in this zone is what we would call, would call this our resistance zone. This is our ceiling and this is our floor, right? So basically a support level is determined by only one touch. It doesn't it doesn't really need to have more than one touch, like 2 touches or 3 touches. That only applies really on trend line, right? Because we also do have support and resistance levels on trend lines. But I did teach about trend line on my first video, so make sure you go check that out if you want to know about trend lines. So let's continue with the lesson. So what happens is that price will come down to your support level and reverse. But what will really interest you is that the way in which you can spot that price is about to reverse is that it will actually give you a nice pattern before reversing. So here you can see that price did come here and then reversed, came back, reversed, came back, reversed. So we have multiple touches on this resistance zone. After breaking this support level, did come back and it did touch our resistance level and then dropped, right? So I think that's a pretty clear demonstration, right? I can also spot another support level right here. You can see the price did come down, touched our support level, went up towards the resistance level, which I should also point out. Price did come to our resistance level and then started to push towards the downside, but then it reversed and then came again towards our resistance level and then dropped. So like I did explain that support and resistance levels don't need to have more than one touch in order to be called support or resistance levels. Because if price gives you a high or a low, we already consider this high as a resistance level because something caused price to reverse here. And that same thing can cause price to reverse the second time price gets here. Thus, we get this double tops pattern. So moving on to a clear demonstration on how support levels actually turn into resistance levels. So I have this clear demonstration right here. Now this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. Perfect example right here. Right, so you can see that price kept on bouncing on our support level, kept on bouncing, broke it, came back, and then once price broke it, as you can see, the price did break it right here. Let me actually zoom in a bit more. As soon as price broke the support level, it came back for a retest and then pushed down further towards the downside, right? But now the price has broken the support level. Like I said, it will now turn into a resistance level, which is why you can see that when price came back here, it actually bounced and then went down, came back and then went down again, and came back again. Did also push down towards the downside and came back for the fourth touch, I think, and then it did also go down. And you can see how this support level actually ended up turning into a resistance level. So I think that demonstration was actually enough for you guys to actually understand this theory that I was talking about on my demonstration. So now for the tip that I have for you guys on how you can actually spot high quality support and resistance level. I actually did share this on my previous video, so if you didn't watch that video, then this is going to be very, very clear. So what you have to do now is that you have to pull out your Fibonacci retracement tool, which again can be found by extending this panel, and then it's literally going to be the first tool that's going to appear there. So you click on that, and now this is how you're going to use this. You're going to take your Fibonacci retracement tool from the low of an uptrend towards the upside to the high. Make sure you extend that towards the right side so that you can cater for all the touches on your levels. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm going to show you here. Let's say maybe price was right here, right, where I drew that vertical line. You can see the price went from this low to this high, and then price started to give you a clear high, and that price started to reverse, right? So now what you would do in this case is that you would take your triangle and then just zone out the Fibonacci 0.382, 0.5, and also the 0.618 levels. So how this actually benefits you is that, like I said, price was right here. Now you would know that when price gets here, it's actually going to react, because you can see that as soon as price got to your zone here, it gave you this correction pattern, right? Actually gave you that correction pattern. And then you can see how price just keeps on playing around these zones. Price keeps on playing around these zones that I've drawn here. Here again, you can see that price gave you this nice correction phase here. Price just kept on playing around these zones that I've actually drawn here. And as soon as price broke this zone, it came back for a retest. And then maybe if you had funded your account here, you could have easily got a nice sell right here. right? So that's how you can actually find the right support and resistance levels using the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So this is just a bonus tip for how you can just make this thing easier for you, for yourself. I think if you haven't customized your Fibonacci tool, it will probably have more levels, which you can also use for, more places where, so that you can have more support and resistance levels. Because you can just see here, it did have a nice resistance level, which was respected later on in the future, right? It was actually respected from here all the way to here. This resistance level was respected, right? So the Fibonacci retracement can really help you and make your learning process faster. So that's all I have for this video, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you destroy that like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
It's A Cubes. Yeah.